what you're going through, like, it's not the end of the tunnel. It's good days ahead. You just got to stay down, you know, go through it. Everybody has to go through something. Just get through that and the better days ahead. And just keep going, man. Don't stop, man. Keep going. Whatever happens, forget it. Keep going. Don't ever stop. Don't ever stop your feet, man. Because I want to be able to send my sister to college so she won't have to worry about paying for anything. You know, I want to buy my mom a big house. You know, I want to make sure my whole family is straight. I want my family to, you know, just be able to live how they want to, live comfortably, you know. And if that takes me playing a game of football, then that's what it takes. If that takes me doing something like professionally or working hard, you know, just having a job, that's what it takes. You know, however I got to get there. Stay the course, don't give up, and don't let anybody take your confidence.
It's season 5, and you still haven't subscribed to the show? Shame on you, honestly. It's a shame. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's your choice. I really would appreciate it, though, if you did hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and turn on post notifications so you never miss a show. We're in season 5, so I want to say that I appreciate anybody that's been tuned in since season 1, or even if this is your first time ever tuning in. I really appreciate the support. Man, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. But like I said, make sure you subscribe and make sure you please smash that like button. I'm not going to start the video until you smash the like button. Seriously, smash the like button. All right, let's go. Josh Youngblood, welcome to the show, bro.
What's good, bro? I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for coming on here. You know, this has been a long time coming. We've been talking about this for a while, so I'm glad we're ready. We're here. We're ready to do this.
Facts.
For sure. Josh, you born and raised in Tampa, Florida. Talk to me about your upbringing in Tampa.
Living in Tampa has been nothing but a blessing, honestly. I played Little League for the Spartans and the Titans, and those are like 2 great organizations which helped me develop into the football player I am today, honestly. And then, you know, I just like being in Tampa. I like being in warm weather because I've been to 2 different schools in cold weather, and it just goes to show you that there's nothing like home. That's why I enjoy every minute being back home, and there's so much love in the city.
Definitely. Tampa Bay Titans, we used to play against them. I used to play for the Bandits. Played against you guys before. I used to play at Robinson. We used to have to drive all the way to Robinson, super far, but definitely I already know about the Spartans. That's a historical program in the city for sure. So definitely good roots coming up playing football. And like you said about the cold weather, I'm in some cold weather right now. My first time seeing snow for real was yesterday. I was sledding down this big hill we got on campus. It's like 12 degrees right now. We doing this. It's still snow outside. So I definitely feel that for sure. I don't like the cold already. It's only been 1 day for real. It's only been snowing for 1 day. So I definitely could feel that for sure. Nothing like home, like you said. You talked about playing for the Spartans and playing for the Titans. Who introduced you to the game of football?
My mom actually put me in football because my older brother, he was 2 years older than me. And, you know, with the age difference, he was able to play before me. So my mom put me in football at a young age just to, you know, have me doing something because I always wanted to play football. I always had a ball in my hand growing up. So she was like, okay, we're going to put you in football. And, I mean, that was all she wrote, honestly.
For sure. How you know football was the thing for you? Like, how'd you know that it was going to be something that you wanted to take serious and go far with?
Yeah. So, I mean, ever since I can remember, I just always loved football. I was always watching football growing up. And then, you know, it just felt right playing the sport. I played basketball and track too and soccer growing up, but it was nothing like football. It just gave me a different feeling every time I stepped on the field.
For sure. When did you know that you were going to start taking it serious, and what did that time look like when you started to take it serious and lock in?
I would say around 6th grade. At that time, I was staying with my granddad, my uncles, my aunties. You know, we were all real close, staying with each other. So, you know, I told them that, you know, I wanted to be a D1 player and all that. And that's when I started hitting push-ups every day. You know, they would take me out to the track in Belma Heights at the old Middleton. We'll be out there training, working out. So I'll say around like 6th grade when I really started taking it serious. That's when I really was like, okay, I'm going to do this in college. And I want to do this professionally.
Definitely. That's something I noticed about you just from like the time we known each other. It seemed like your work ethic has always been there. You've always been consistent. We done worked out a couple of times, you know, I can't lift like y'all boys be lifting. I know one time we lifted, I was in that bit about to die because yeah, I can't do it how y'all football players be doing it. But talk to me about your work ethic and when did that start to build and how do you keep up with it?
Yeah, so I would say I started that around middle school too. And what helped me create a great work ethic was push-ups. I would try to do like 100 push-ups a day. And then on top of that, like when I was watching a TV show or a movie, when they hit commercials, I would drop down, hit some push-ups. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got to high school, I went to Berkeley. That's when more resources were made available around me. Like we had a sled, what you could run with. We had parachutes, ladders, cones. So it just opened up the opportunities for me to master my craft, and I'm very thankful for that. So I mean, I feel like that's one thing that I could pride myself on is my work ethic. I'm gonna try to outwork everybody. That's my thing.
For sure. I remember when I was younger, like when I was a kid, I used to come to my dad and be like, "Oh yeah, Dad, I'm bored. What could I do? This, and this." He would always tell me do some push-ups, and I always just wave it off because I was like, "Bro, like, what are you talking about?" But then, like, as I got older, I started to do push-ups too. But I wish I would have like took that more serious, like, and just been doing that. Like, I might have had a better frame, or I might have been a little bit stronger now just from doing all that time, like you said. But I definitely. Watching TV, playing the game, I used to definitely drop down and do my push-ups during the commercial breaks. Watching basketball games, it's hella commercials in basketball games and football games. So, yeah, definitely can relate to that for sure.
Yes, sir.
Stewart Middle School, you just talked about making your way to Berkeley High School. What was it like when you got to Berkeley?
It was a big like culture change for me because everybody there was nice and accepting. Everybody really wanted the best for me, and I had a great head coach and Coach Sal. He really took care of me, really brought me in, took me under his wing. He taught me a lot. And then my junior, senior, he let me play quarterback for him. So we just got closer over the years. I'm still really close to him. I talk to him. I talk to him a lot. When I come back, I try to train at Berkeley. I haven't been there yet, but I'm gonna go back this week. But when I go back there, it's nothing but love, man. And it's just a great environment. That's why I try to tell the young dudes that go there now, like, take advantage of that because that's probably the purest school's ever going to be, other than elementary. But, middle school and college, everybody has their own personalities. But at Berkeley, they did a good job of making sure everybody knew how to work together and making it feel like a family.
For sure. Definitely. You guys, you, Tim, Chase, all y'all went to Berkeley. My little brothers, both of them go to Berkeley now. So I definitely could see it. The resources, just everything. It seems like anytime I go, I get treated like I go there, like I've been there. It's just always a good environment there. I definitely feel that for sure. I kind of wish I went to Berkeley myself. Like I went on a visit there when I was coming into like 8th grade and it was still being built. Like I remember walking in the Strat Center and they were still building it. I remember walking upstairs in the little where they put the news cameras and stuff. Like I just thought it was the coolest thing. But like it was kind of far for us to go all the way over there. And I didn't want my parents to have to drive me all the way over there, figure out how I was going to go there and stuff like that. And I was just a kid. So like, I wasn't thinking about the resources and all the good that could come from going there. And I ended up going to Wharton. But I definitely from afar, or not from, it's kind of from afar because I'm not there, but seeing my brothers go there and just come up through there, doing what they're doing and stuff, I definitely am a fan of Berkeley Prep for real. If you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show. We talked a little bit about off the field at Berkeley. You talked about Coach Sayo, the coach that he is. Junior year and senior year, you played quarterback there. Just talk to me about what you were able to accomplish in your years on the field there at Berkeley.
Yeah, so I really feel like I had a great cast around me, first off. We have very talented players. I played with, when I was a quarterback, my junior year, we had the #1 offensive tackle in the nation, Nick Chiefre. Then we had Jalen Harrell. He was a 4-star linebacker. Minor Honitu, he was a 3-star. Zach Mathis, he was a 3-star. We had a whole lot of people around me. So it made my job easier, honestly. And I had fun playing with those guys. But we were able to go to the playoffs my senior year. I think we went to the regional championship. My junior year, we just missed the playoffs, but I think missing the playoffs my junior year was probably one of the most important life lessons I learned. Honestly, you just got to learn how to bounce back. Because we were a really stacked team and a whole bunch of talent. We didn't go to the playoffs. Then we come back my senior year, and we go to the playoffs, and we lost a lot of talent that year. So, I mean, it just shows that you can accomplish anything with great people around you, and that's what I learned the most at Berkeley. Like, it's not about the talent, it's not about who you have on the team. It's more about the chemistry and how your team works together and how the team loves each other.
Definitely. Let me see. You also played a little bit of basketball. You played basketball coming up a little piece. You played basketball in high school. Coach Garcia, talk to me about your experience playing for Berkeley, playing basketball.
Man, that was fun, man. I was really like, how Tim Carter say he the clamp god? I played Tim. I feel like I'm the real, you feel me? I'm the clamp guy, man. But I don't know, I love playing defense in high school. That was my thing. I didn't take any shots. I probably took maybe 50 shots in my whole year. You feel me? But I loved playing defense. I love we would run big one, and coach would let me press and trap. So that was a very fun experience. Like, if I was taller, I would have probably tried to play basketball somewhere. It was just so fun, But yeah, that was a great experience, and I'm happy those guys are doing well now.
We talked about playing football at Berkeley Prep. Now I want to talk about your 7-on-7. You play with Team Tampa. Talk to me about all the talented players you played with and all your experience you had there, how that helped you get to the next level.
Yeah, Team Tampa was a really fun experience too. Our 15U team, we won the national championship at IMG. We beat Chicago Boom. During that time, that's when they had the documentary. They had the cameras following them around. So that was really fun. We had me, Ray Woody, John Dixon, Jordan Minor, Charlie Dean, Terrence Dawson. I'm missing a whole bunch, but that's just off the top of my head. And we were probably 20, 30 deep. And we were 15 years old, and it was already probably like 10 or 12 players on our team with offers, like D1 offers. Like, we were really talented. And, it was just really fun to be around those guys, go on different tournaments. I think we did like 6 total tournaments. But, like, I still talk to those guys to this day. Like, those are my brothers. And I wish them the best, too.
For sure. I remember seeing everybody playing 7-on-7 football. That's right around the time I just decided I was just going to play basketball in high school. Right when we got to high school, y'all going to Vegas and this and that, Snoop Dogg, gold cleats. I was like, damn, I should have just kept playing football, bro. That looked like it was litty for sure.
And the gear was crazy. That's one thing. Coach Grady made sure we had gear. Like, head to toe, every tournament, we're getting new gear. That's what I loved about it, too.
For sure. I was definitely like, damn, I should have kept playing football just for one more year. Like, yeah. For sure. Definitely. After high school, during high school, your recruiting process started. Talk to me about your recruiting process and how you ended up choosing K-State.
Yeah, so in high school, I didn't get my first offer until going into my senior year that January, and West Point offered me. They wanted me to play quarterback, and that was a great day for me. A lot of emotions running through me. I still remember that day like it was yesterday. I was just so happy to have an offer finally. Then started picking up around springtime. That's where I got my first top offer from Minnesota. And a couple more big schools started looking at me. But I took a trip to Temple in Philly before my senior year, and I committed on July 4th. After official, Coach Collins was still there. So, I loved Coach Collins. He brought a lot of energy. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go here. Committed. I was my only official. Then December comes around, about signing day. This is a year after they started the early signing day process. Because I was 2019. 2018 is when they started that. So Coach Collins leaves and he goes to Georgia Tech. So Temple gets a new coach, Manny Diaz from Miami. He's like, yeah, I'm coming back. I'm going to be a great coach here. We need you here. I'm like, okay, I'm still on board. Then maybe 3-4 days later, he goes back to Miami and gets the coordinator job. So now I'm like, man, I just had 2 coaches leave. I'm not there yet. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna take a break. So I decommitted from there. I didn't go public with it, but I decommitted. And then North Dakota State was recruiting me. because Zach Mathis went there, another one of my teammates. And their coaching staff, they got the job at Kansas State once Coach Snyder retired. And they were like, "Will you be interested in coming here?" And I talked to them, had a great relationship. Went on the official, I loved it. And I committed, and the rest is history.
For sure. I mean, that really sound crazy. Like now, when you started talking about it, I remember Manny Diaz leaving. Like I know that was probably a hectic time for you being committed to the school. Yeah, definitely. I remember that all started to come back to me. Talk to me, like, what would you tell somebody that's going through the recruiting process? You just talked about yours, like committing to your first school, just how it was up and down. It wasn't perfect. Everything was just going this way, that way. Just talk to me about what you would tell somebody that's going through the recruiting process themselves right now.
It's a couple of things you got to look at. First, you got to look at the academics. I know it sounds crazy, but you got to see if they have the major that you want. Second off, when it comes to like athletic, you want to make sure that that program has a plan for you. You know, like if they want you to come in and play, like make sure they communicate that with you, or if they want you to red shirt, if they want you to play special teams, like just make sure you guys have an open relationship, because that'll help in picking your decision. And then finally, you gotta go somewhere where it just feels right. That's one thing. Like I was able to take visits. I know with COVID and stuff, it's not as open as how it used to be. But I was able to take a visit to Kansas State, and it's like when I put the gear on, when I put the pads on, like it felt right, you know. And that's why I committed there. So it's a feel thing, but at the same time, you gotta use your brain. But I'll say you can let your heart make a decision too.
Definitely. I think the main thing, one of the main things, like you said, just having a relationship with your coach, being able to talk to them and just going where you want it versus just going somewhere for the name or whatever the case, the level, whatever the case, because you might find a better situation. You're going to find a better situation somewhere you want it versus somewhere you want to go more so than they want you. So I definitely think all that is key that you said for sure. In high school, you played quarterback your last 2 years. You're just an athlete overall for sure. When you went to K-State, you played kick return. You ended up becoming an All-American returner. Talk to me about your freshman year at K-State.
My freshman year was a blessing. I mean, it feels like so long ago because that was the last regular year before COVID. It just feels like so long ago, but man, that was a crazy year. Scored my first kick return touchdown versus Texas. And then I scored the next week versus Iowa State. The next week versus Texas Tech. And then I scored the last game of the season versus Iowa State. And I had a rushing touchdown versus Oklahoma. And like looking back on it, it's like, man, like really did a lot in a short amount of time. You know, it was a blessing though, man. My teammates there, they really took me in. I was a Florida boy in Kansas, but I felt like home. People around the city were nice too. It was so much love. I loved being in Kansas. It was peaceful too, you know. But all good things come to an end. You know, I decided to hit the Portland, go to Rutgers. But you know, I believe in God's timing. You know, God's plan. Everything happens for a reason too. So that's just what it was, and that's how I feel about everything.
For sure, definitely a Rutgers Scarlet Knight right now. I gotta talk to you about a little bit about K-State though. For
yeah.
people that aren't really too into football, aren't that familiar, don't know too much. You had 3 kick returns in 1 year. A lot of people don't get 3 kick returns in their career, really. Like you was really the real deal return specialist. You talked about your first return against Texas. I remember seeing that. A lot of people don't really even, they think it's just, you just get the ball and run. But talk to me about what be going on through your head and talk to me about that specific kick return.
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me is I like to follow my off returner. That's why I like to have a really close relationship with my off returners. At Kansas State, I had Phil Brooks, and then at Rutgers, I had Aaron Young and Avery Young, both of the brothers. And I think that's the biggest thing for me is I got really close with those guys. And, you know, I really love those guys too. And those guys loved me. And I think kick return is more about chemistry than anything. Like you can have 11 people out there running a kick return, but when you have the same people and you rep it over and over, like it creates like a chemistry and a bond, and that's what you need. And then you have to have the ability to hit the hole. Like on the kick return, you're not going to have as much space as like a pass, when you catch a pass or like a tunnel screen, like it's a little hole. It's not going to stay open that long. You just got to hit it full speed and just follow the blockers. So that's what goes through my mind. Like as soon as I catch it, I'm like, okay, let me find my opportunity. Whichever way he goes, I'm gonna cut opposite, and then try to find a hole and go.
For sure. Yeah, I remember seeing the Texas one and Iowa State one for sure. The one you took back against Texas, I was like, dang, bro, like, bro, really just slid, like, took it all the way to the crib. Yeah, that's definitely major for sure. 3 kick return in the year, freshman All-American. If you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show. I know part of the reason that you wanted to change schools and go a different way was you wanted to show that you were more than just a kick returner. You wanted to show your skills as a wide receiver. Talk to me about just what that's been like working on your craft, becoming a better receiver, just being a better all-around football player.
Yeah, I think I've definitely became a way better receiver, and that's due to like me getting older and realizing what I need to work on, and then just taking the coaching around me, listening to my receiver coach. Like my receiver coach, now he played at Rutgers, was a Rutgers legend, top 10 in receiving yards, top 10 in touchdowns, like crazy athlete, and he played for the Bucks too. So we have a tight relationship. Like I tell him all the time, like coach, what I need to work on. Okay, work on this, work on this, work on this. And I'll go to the weight room. We got a little strip of turf in our weight room. I'll go work on it. And that's the biggest thing for me is just using my work ethic as an advantage to use what I need to work on. Like sometimes you don't need to do push-ups every day. You just got to work on, releases or getting it out of a break or, using your hands off the line of scrimmage. I've been trying to work on the details. Like it's bigger than just running routes now. Like now it's like, okay, how are you going to run this curl versus cover 2? How are you gonna run it versus man? How are you gonna run it, if the linebacker and the safety blitzes, how are you gonna change your route? So it's about learning the game of football. I think that's helped me become a better receiver, like football 101. And then on top of that, just working even harder on my craft. Like instead of just training speed, now I'm working on releases, stuff like that.
Something you talked about that I found important in that is just taking your coaching. How important is it just to be coachable, and how much does that help you just listening to people that have done it at a high level, done the things that you want to do?
Yeah, I think I'm very coachable, and you have to be coachable at the D1 level because, there's always something that you need to work on. Nobody's a perfect player. So, and taking coaching, that helps you, like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't help the coaches. They're doing that to help you. And once you realize that, like you got to have a cognitive mind. Like you have to change your thinking structure and be like, okay, he is telling me this because I need to get better at this. He's not just telling me this for no reason, and that makes it easier to take coaching, just knowing that they have a purpose behind what they say. And they're just doing this so that you can be the best player that you can be.
I think, like you said, taking coaching, being coachable, I think it just helps you as a person. Like you said, even as far as off the field, off the court, outside of your sport, like just being able to take coaching, especially if your coach is hard on you, like in life in general, like life gonna come at you all kind of ways. And sometimes when you're getting coached up by your coach, it might not come off in the way that you would want it to in the most perfect way. But if you're able to just take in the message and not really think about how somebody talking to you versus like what they're actually trying to like relay to you. Like you said, they're telling you something for a reason. They're not saying it just for their health or just to hear themselves talk. They're trying to help you become a better player. And y'all both got the same goal, just winning. Probably everybody wants to win and becoming a better player, a better coach. Like y'all on the same side. So if you think about it like that, I think that just helps you as a player too. It makes you tougher as a player and as a person mentally. And I think mental toughness, that's the key to everything. It's not just all about sports. Like that's what I think about taking coaching. This year at Rutgers just came to an end. You guys were in a bowl game a couple of weeks ago. Talk to me about how you guys started the season, how you finished up, and what the bowl experience was like.
Yeah, so we started the season hot, 3-0. I think that was the best start to the season since 2014. And we went on a little losing skid, and I feel like we could have won a lot of games. Honestly, we lost to Michigan by 7. We should have beat Northwestern. Um, it was a lot of games where we could have won and we didn't. We didn't capitalize. So, it hurts honestly because like season could have been way different. But at the same time, like you got to just take it to the chin and take it as a learning experience, and can't let it happen next year. Like next year, we can't let any game slip from us. And we were still fortunate to go to a bowl game due to Texas A&M having COVID, and we had a high our academic progress rate. So was the highest in the country. So we were the first team aligned to go, and that was the first bowl game for Rutgers since 2014, I think. So it was a great buzz around the program. Everybody was happy. Everybody was at home too. We were all home, and like Christmas Eve, they're like, you guys need to come back tomorrow. We're going to get right, and let's go win this bowl game. So it was a great experience just seeing my teammates again because I probably would have never seen some of those seniors again unless they would have came to a game or something next season. But just being around the team again, it's a great experience because when are you going to be around 120 people, all trying to win the same thing? Like rarely in life, So it was a great experience. I wish we would have won, honestly, but it was a good experience. We got to win the next bowl game next year.
Sure. I'm excited to see what y'all do next year, what you do next year. I'm a fan of Rutgers football now since you got there, so I'm excited to see what y'all bring to the table next year. I hope y'all can bounce back from the season that y'all had this year and have a better season next year for sure.
Yes, sir.
We're in the off season right now. Season just finished. I already know you're getting back to work probably slowly but surely, not all the way, but talk to me about some of the things you want to work on and like be better at for next year personally and just what you're looking to do next season.
Yeah, next year, I think coverage identity is the biggest thing. Like in the Big Ten, a lot of teams rotate coverages pre-snap and post-snap. So just the ability to read out coverages. Okay, that free safety came down, it's cover 5. Or the strong came down, there's 3 buzz. Or he buzzed out, stuff like that. Or just knowing we have a cloud corner, how to power through the outside shoulder, not take an inside release. Knowing what routes to have a mandatory outside release and an inside release and how that helps the quarterback's timing. That's all I'm working. I need to work on the little details. I know my strength coach is going to get me faster, bigger, stronger. Like physically, I'm gonna be the part because my strength coach is great. He was actually my strength coach in high school for a year, so I know he's going to get me right. But now I'm trying to take the mental aspect of the game of football to another level. I want to talk about it, how those guys talk about it in the league. How they talk about coverages, how they talk about routes, how they talk about play concepts. Like that's my big emphasis. Just I want to know the playbook in and out. I want to know what the O-line does. If it's a guard pull, like if it's an A-gap power run, like I want to know every single thing, not just my route and my play.
How important is watching film to you and just watching football, period? Like I feel like for me personally, I watch probably as much basketball as I can. Like I definitely could watch more, but every day pretty much I'm watching different college basketball. NBA a little bit, like NBA is a little bit different. I don't know how it is for college football and NFL, but like the NBA is kind of like all-star, like every game is like an all-star game compared to high school because they play defense, they play hard, but it's just different. It's kind of hard to explain, but how much football do you try to take in and like how important is watching film to the process of what you just said that you want to work on?
Yeah, so I've been actually like since I've been back, I've been trying to watch film every single day on my iPad. I brought my iPad home, and what I've been doing is going back to the games, watching my snaps, and then some of the games I didn't play because I was injured. So just seeing how those corners play, like I didn't play Michigan State or Illinois, and I know we're going to play them next year. So I've been watching their corners, seeing how they're going to play, seeing how they press, like their pre-snap alignment. Are they going to inside shade press, outside shade press? How does that determine the coverage? So that's what I've been trying to work on. And also, I've been trying to watch a lot of film from the slot. I watch, it's a slot on my team. His name's Aaron Cruikshank. And he does a really good job of secondary releases, giving the move to like the overhangs and the Sam linebackers and the nickels who play on top of him. he does a great job of getting any release he wants, just of like his speed and his moves. So I just been watching him, trying to take some ideas from him. I watch all the receivers. I take ideas from everybody. Like I'm quick to ask, Shameen or Zay, like, hey, teach me this real quick. Teach me this. Trying to get a little something from everybody. But yeah, that's the big thing. Like, you got to watch film because it's just the key to the game. That's going to help you win.
You got a few years left of your college career, 1, 2, a couple more years. COVID gave everybody an extra year. But what do you see, like, what are your plans for when you leave Rutgers, like, as far as football and outside of football? Like, where do you see yourself doing in a couple years?
Yeah, I definitely want to play professional football, and that's still my goal. I really think I can get there, with the help of my coaches. And, the league we're playing is probably – I think the Big Ten is the best conference in the league and in the whole country, honestly, just because of how the schedule is every week. So, if I can perform against those guys week in and week out and be consistent, then I know I can play in the NFL. And it's not any pressure, honestly, but it's more of like a lifelong dream that I want to like make come true. It's been a dream of mine since I was 5, 6 years old. But after football is done, I definitely want to get into coaching. Probably go back to my high school, be like an OC or something. If Coach Sal's still there, I definitely just want to stay around the game of football. Honestly, like I love football so much.
For sure. I think that's definitely key that you got that goal in mind and you're doing what you need to do to obtain that goal. Like a lot of people have goals of going to the NBA, going to the NFL, doing this, doing that, but they're not putting the work in and taking the steps to get there. So I think, like we said, like how I asked what some stuff you want to work on going into the next season and just in general, like just you having an actual answer and having certain things that you want to put into work and that you want to work on is key. And I think you make it if you just keep doing what you're doing and stay consistent. Like you said, you're on the biggest stage, one of the biggest stages possible. So playing against the best, competing against the best, showing up against the best, I think that's definitely in reach for sure. Just keep going, keep doing what you're doing, bro, for sure. If you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show.
Yes, sir.
Last segment of the show, I call it crunch time. Crunch time, that's when you got to lock in, end of the game situation. You got to show up for your team, do what you do. So this is just a couple last-minute questions to wrap up the show.
I bet.
What's been the biggest obstacle that you had to face to get to this point?
Injuries. And you just getting over injuries and staying healthy, keeping the ponies on the track.
For sure. I ain't even want to talk about injuries too much, bro, because I already know what time it is with that. I've been injuring myself a whole bunch. So for sure, we don't got to even get to that too much. What advice would you give to your younger self if you can go back in time and talk to your younger self?
Stay the course. Don't give up and don't let anybody take your confidence.
Definitely. What's something that a random person wouldn't know about you, but your friends, your close family, they know about you?
I'm a drummer. Used to drum in the church growing up for real.
Yeah.
Real life. So yeah.
Real drummer boy.
Real drummer boy.
What's the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
Best piece of advice I've ever received. I mean, not really advice, but just knowing that my whole family's behind me. Every time I come home, I feel that, like, it's just motivation. Just knowing that they're behind me and knowing that they really see my vision for me happening. It's not really advice, but I don't know. That's probably the best thing.
For sure. What's 1 to 2 quotes that you take with you every day that you live by that help you get through your days?
Yeah, I got it tatted on me. It's Romans 8:18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Basically, like, what you're going through, like, it's not the end of the tunnel. Like, there's good days ahead. You just got to stay down, go through it. Everybody has to go through something. Just get through that and there are better days ahead. So,
most definitely. What's your why? What keeps you motivated to just keep going, striving for greatness, keep doing big things?
Yeah, I got my sister tatted on me, and I got my mom tatted on me. My goal for them in their life is not worry about anything I want to be able to buy them nice things. I want to be able to send my sister to college so she won't have to worry about paying for anything. You know, I want to buy my mom a big house. You know, I want to make sure my whole family is straight. That's my why. Like, I want my family to, just be able to live how they want to, live comfortably. And if that takes me playing the game of football, then that's what it takes. If that takes me doing something like professionally or working hard, just having a job, that's what it takes. However I got to get there.
Most definitely. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years? That's probably year 3 or 4 in the league. Jeez, man. That'd be crazy. No lie. That's where I see myself, though. Like, I really see myself in the league. And seeing all my friends go and having the opportunities, it just gives me more motivation. So that's really where I see myself in 5 years.
If you could meet and spend a day with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
3 people, Elon Musk, just because, I got to talk to him. Jay-Z, Elon Musk, Jay-Z. Give me Elon Musk, Jay-Z, Kodak. Just to have my boy Kodak. He gonna make some jokes or whatever, but I gotta have Elon Musk there just because Elon Musk and Jay-Z, they billionaires. So when you have billionaire conversations, you learn so much. I just like talking to people who are real successful. So that's why I have them there.
For sure. I like that top 3 right there. I don't think nobody ever said Kodak on here, so you might be the first one. Yeah, definitely. Last question, last but not least. Who is somebody you think I should have on the show next? Whoever you say you got to put me in, you got to help me get them. Who should I have on here?
You got to have my boy Jalen Harrell come on here from Michigan, man. Dude snapping. Like, next year going to be a crazy year for him. Not against us. You know what I'm saying? But I really see him going crazy next year. I don't want to, say no stat slam, but, man, that dude is a baller. Like, he's a beast. You got to have him on here, man.
Yeah, for sure. Jalen Harrell, Jalen the real thing. I ain't going to lie. Every time I watch Michigan, bro, everywhere, all over the field, on every tackle. Him and Aiden Hutchinson, bro, going crazy.
Then they had another dude, 55. He just went too. Like, bro, they was deep over there. You know what I mean? But yeah, that boy Jalen different, man.
They're swinging. Jalen Harrell, if you see this, bro, come chop it up, man. I need you on the show. Chop it up with me. Come on. I need you on here. Josh Youngblood, I want to say thank you taking the time to do this. It means a lot to me supporting the show. This has been a long time coming. Knew he's going to come through, but appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on here, bro, for sure.
Yes, sir, bro. Thank you for having me, bro.
No worries, bro. Is there any last minute, anything you want to say to anybody listening, any motivation, anything you want to leave with the people watching, man?
Man, just keep going, man. Don't stop, man. Keep going. Whatever happens, forget it. Keep going. Don't ever stop. Don't ever stop your feet, man.
For sure. Josh Youngblood, again, I want to say thank you. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media, anything you want to plug in.
Yes, sir. Instagram at stk.23. And then my Twitter is at YB060. Yes, sir. Y'all go get a little boy a follow.
For sure. Everything going to be down below in the description. Y'all follow YB on everything, social media, Twitter, Instagram, all that. Josh, I appreciate it, bro. That's it for this episode. See y'all on the next episode. If you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show.